Karma Brands radio station.
Should you be happy about trading for a big-time prospect if you're just going to trade him again in 3 years?
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios.
The man your man could smell.
Theo Dorsey is theoretically speaking.
But are you a different animal and the same beast?
Streaming live on YouTube.
You're gonna break up with me because of what I do on the radio?
Here's Theo Dorsey.
No Theo Dorsey in today. You got Colin Russo here with Christian Cat, as always, filling in on Theoretically Speaking on ESPN 106.3. Hope everybody's having a wonderful afternoon on a Thursday edition. It is the last day of July, the 31st, 2025. 888-760-3776, the Baptist Health Hotline to get into the program today. You got next 4 hours, essentially, with Russo and Rizzo coming up right following. A lot to talk about because we got the trade deadline coming up in just about 4 hours. And a lot of big blockbuster deals have already happened. Guys getting shipped out, guys getting shipped in. A bunch of quotes that we'll break down from the NFL training camp side of things. More importantly, on where Jaden Daniels thinks he's going to respond into his sophomore season. Also, where John Harbaugh ranks Lamar Jackson in terms of the all-time great passers. You heard that right? Passers. We'll get into that a little later on in the program. But first things first, a big blockbuster. There's a couple big trades throughout the last couple days on the MLB side of things. But the big one was what ensued just about 2 hours ago. And it was between the Oakland Athletics. I'm an Oakland A's guy. So, I mean, here's the homer comments. But I'm an Oakland A's fan and the San Diego Padres. The Oakland A's sent Mason Miller, who is one of the better closers, relief pitchers in baseball. He's a flamethrower, throws 105. He's young. He's been in the mix. The problem is the A's are in last place, and you get a good closer on a bad team. You get a Bugatti at a trailer park. And that doesn't necessarily serve him the best comparatively to being on a contender. So was it always floated the last couple of years that Mason Miller might get shipped out? Yes. So I didn't think the A's were going to do it, considering that this was the last day before the deadline. I didn't think that they would ship him out. But they did. The San Diego Padres, A.J. Preller is their general manager and is somebody who always makes a splash deal throughout the season on the trades. He's not afraid to ship out prospects. He is not afraid to ship out young players. He wants to take swings. And whether they miss or not, that is what you get with A.J. Preller. And that's what he did again. They sent 4 prospects in exchange for Mason Miller, the relief pitcher, and J.P. Sears, who's probably the Athletics' third best starter. I immediately saw this trade and saw that Mason Miller was being shipped to San Diego. I almost fell to my knees in the City Place Studios right here in West Palm Beach. I almost fell to my knees because I'm an A's fan. And the problem is Mason Miller is under contract until 2029. So you got 4 years, 3.5 years of control over this guy, which is, that's currency in the MLB, in MLB terms. But I call it, if you ship out Mason Miller when the A's didn't need to, they would almost need an offer you can't refuse. And this might be an offer that you cannot refuse. What the Padres offered is Leo DeVries, who is the 3rd overall prospect in baseball. He's the top prospect in the Padres organization, and he is the kind of the golden goose of young stars. And he is 18 years old, and he's in single A, and nobody's really seen him at a high level yet, but everybody's really high on him. He's a shortstop, and he's an 18-year-old. So he's the youngest big prospect there is, and he's now on the Oakland Athletics. This is somebody who signed internationally with Leo DeVries, and he has been people wondering if he's Jose Ramirez or if he's going to be a big-time player. So I hear that, okay, well, they got a good prospect out of that. You follow that up, and they got 3 pitchers on top of that. So 3 pitchers and the number 1 shortstop. This guy was born in 2006. This guy is young. And getting him it feels cool to have a big-time he's going to be the De La Cruz coming up through the ranks, and he's going to be a big-time factor in 2 or 3 years. But we talked about it a little bit yesterday on the Russo and Rizzo. It reflects a big problem I have with the A's. because everybody loves throwing around the term great haul. Oh, that's a great haul. You can't say no to that. That's a great haul. Hey, they got a lot back. They got a lot of prospects in exchange for Mason Miller. So you gotta take that into consideration. My problem is number one, we haven't seen most of these prospects throughout the big leagues consistently. And number two is the Oakland A's specifically, or the Athletics specifically. I've played this game before. They shipped out Matt Olson. They got about 5 prospects in return, one of whom is still on the team. They ship out Sean Murphy. They let Jesus Luzardo go. They make these trades all the time. And what do they usually do? They take these prospects and they flip them. Or they take these prospects and they don't pan out. Finally, you have a proven commodity, a high-end relief pitcher that you could have for the next 4 years, essentially. And they ship him out for a prospect. 3-4 prospects, it's a lot. I'm admitting this, but it's almost a death cycle for the Athletics specifically. Because when have the Athletics, taken up a haul on prospects and it has all worked out? And these guys work their way up through the system and they're starting day in and day out. It doesn't happen that often. All those great young players that the A's have, a lot of them were drafted. A sizable amount were drafted. It's the right move from baseball logic to make a trade like that. If they offer you 4 prospects for a reliever, you say yes. But Christian, an 18-year-old that we're not going to see till 2027 at the earliest, and somebody who has had success at a single A level, and the stats aren't superb, but he's having success. He's the youngest player playing there. And to me, I don't like the term fool's gold because we used it yesterday. What's the best case scenario here? The best case scenario is that you get 2 or 3 guys that actually play in the big leagues. And if this guy is an everyday infielder, then we got 4 years with him, and then we're going to be looking to trade him too because you can't afford him. It's a death cycle because they're just going to keep flipping their good players in exchange for future players. They did that with Mason Miller, and whether you need a closer this year or not, I don't know if I agreed with the philosophy of letting him go, but there's obviously a time and a place where if there's this type of offer, they got to haul back, you say yes.
Yeah, I think you have to.
You have to say yes.
You need a lineup to compete in baseball. And if you can flip one relief arm that you might see for 1 or max 2 innings every other day in order to get 4 guys where if you're lucky 2 of them pan out and turn into your 3-hitter, 4-hitter, or whatever the prospects are. That's kind of like you got to take that chance.
And Mason Miller specifically is somebody who throws 105 miles an hour, and he's probably an elbow strain away from not seeing him for a year and a half. So I understand that.
Because isn't dominant relievers like this, I guess all-time greats excluded, their value comes in surrounding a relief arm with 2 or 3 other guys who are just as good, a la like how the Dodgers line themselves up with, where, okay, their bullpen budget is unlimited in terms of, okay, if you gas one guy's arm out, that's okay. We've got 3 or 4 other horses in the stable that can also come into the 6th, 7th, 8th inning when you get into these late postseason series.
You got to be
like Mason Miller is so much more valuable to a contender than he is to a team who's not in the playoffs.
And his stats, if you look at them, is not superb, but this guy is going to be, if not one of the better relievers in baseball, because he just hasn't been in high leverage situations. He hasn't been put in situations where, what are you saving a game on the last place team? He's going to be in the thick of the wild card race all of a sudden with San Diego. So for that, yes, I'm okay. I'm happy with him. This guy's going to be a beast, and whether they move him into a starter or not remains to be seen. And there's just too much what if in regard to pitchers who are flamethrowers who throw really hard. But this just reminds me of everything I've seen but with the A's before. What is the best case scenario here? The A's have 6 or 7 really good young bats in their lineup, specifically. Young position players that are going to be big-time baseball players in this league. And I was thinking, I thought it would be this year. I took the Rover. But definitely yet next year, by the time they get to Vegas, they're going to have a lot of great positional bats in that lineup if they don't trade them. Isn't that the time when you want a dominant closer, a dominant reliever like that in Miller? Am I thinking too far ahead? Probably. Does too many things need to go right? Probably. Was that an offer you have to accept? Probably. But dare I say, what, I hold my doubts because the Oakland A's like to ship out every good player they've seen in the last 10 years? Why, is that not fair? Do we put too much stock for a small market team picking up a big time prospect? Because eventually that big time prospect is going to need to get paid or is going to be leveraged on a big time trade. That's the bottom line. If this guy is anything close to what everybody says he's going to be, Leo DeVries, the third overall prospect in baseball, the top prospect traded at this trade deadline so far. If he's anything close to what he's supposed to be, you think the A's can afford the money he's going to demand? The answer is no. So you're looking for a rental. You're looking for, that 5 or 6 years of service time unless you want to leverage that earlier.
Now, this is a question I have. With the A's going from Oakland to semi-homeless in Sacramento to going to Vegas, will there be more money influx into the team that will be spent and maybe be able to afford it?
They signed Luis Severino to the biggest contract they've signed since 2004. You want to know how much it was? It was $60 million.
In total?
Over 3 years. And that was the 64, I believe, with Severino. It's the biggest contract they've signed in 20 years, since Eric Chavez in 2004. And from that perspective, they've signed a couple extensions here and there, but they're cheap. You're right. With Vegas, probably a little bit more of an influx. You got to start spending a little bit more money. You never know if a salary cap is on its way. So if that's the case, that helps your consideration quite a bit. Now I'm going to be rooting for the salary cap. I've already been rooting for it. Now the goal is to be able to afford this guy whenever he's due for an extension. But as a small market team, I think baseball teams have different perspectives. The Dodgers don't care about their prospects. The Padres definitely don't care about their prospects. The Yankees probably care too much about their prospects, and the Mets don't care about their prospects. But those are the teams that you'll see in the postseason. Everybody else is sort of stockpiling these prospects for what? To capitalize on their service time years when they're young? Does Paul Skeens agree with that? I know he was drafted, but still. When you don't invest the capital monetarily, you can't just expect that all these prospects pan out. It's a small market thinking versus big market thinking. The A's making that trade and stockpiling the prospects once again, and I understand it's leverage, it's timing. They didn't need to pay Mason Miller anytime soon. But it just reflects a bigger problem with them. They shipped out Matt Olson when they didn't need to. They shipped out Frankie Montas, who stinks now, but was good for the A's when they didn't need to. Let Matt Chapman walk. They let all these guys go, and all these guys are on different teams now just because they didn't want to pay. And they're just continuing to stockpile these prospects, and they're maybe a 20% hit rate, 20. Now, this guy looks to be the real deal, Leo DeVries, excuse me, and he looks to be the real deal. So, of course, I understand why they made the trade, but this is the death cycle for small market teams. It's a death cycle. You get the big prospect, they're either too good and you got to move them, or they're not as good as what you thought they would be, and they fizzle out because they're not in a big-time team.
And it is one of those situations where unless you're a fan of the team that has the player plucked, even if you are also a fan of another small market team who might not be having the success right now, you're almost rooting for that other player to get plucked, as long as it's not your guy, because we like seeing great baseball players on big stages. So if I am, let's say, a Colorado Rockies fan, I'm kind of excited to see Mason Miller play meaningful baseball.
Heck, even a Yankee fan. A Yankee fan doesn't have to deal with them unless they get to the World Series. If they're going to be in a high-leverage situation in the NLCS against the Dodgers or the any of that, NLDS, and you see Mason Miller come in to close a game against Shohei Ohtani, that's good baseball. That's what people want to see because he is an interesting, exciting, and big-time pitcher.
Yeah, but the trade deadline machine works in the favor of the big spenders, the big money havers like the Yankees, like the Mets, like the Dodgers. It doesn't help the teams like the Colorado Rockies. It doesn't help the teams that don't spend much money but fans will be selfish, like just because it's not happening to us. And this exact trade, Mason Miller to the Padres, prospects for a big arm like that, I want to see that, even if I am going to be victim for the same situation. The minor leagues in the major leagues, as you put it yesterday.
That's it. There are two different levels. There's two different viewpoints. One likes to stockpile the cheap, undervalued at some certain point prospects, and the other like to ship out their prospects in exchange for the big-time player.
I don't hate it. I actually don't hate it. If you don't have the means, if you are a tight spending team,
what else
maybe it's out of choice.
What else can those general managers do?
Yeah, I feel like that is the pipe dream. That is your path to success, is just rolling over guys who are overperforming their very cheap contracts, their very low draft capital. They overperform that, and you roll it over into 5 guys that maybe 3 of them will overperform what they're getting paid. And then you ship them out, and then you make it into 7 guys who can do that. And now you have a team that can compete, and you have a 3 or 4 year window until you have to pay all of those guys what they're worth. I think that is the path to success without spending a great deal of money in free agency.
And you flip it for a second. Imagine the San Diego Padres for a second. They've done this time and time again. They traded for Soto. Keep that in mind. So they traded future prospects, which included to be James Wood, who's a great player for the Washington Nationals at the moment, C.J. Abrams, who's a very good player for the Washington Nationals, and Mackenzie Gore, who's another very good player for the Washington Nationals. They traded that for 1.5 seasons of Soto. Now, did they get a bunch of stuff back from the Yankees in exchange for that? Yes. But they got, for a season and a half of Soto, that's a lot of good players that you just kind of let out the door. And they traded Leo DeVries, who all the Padre fans are very annoyed that they shipped out this kid, for a closer, for a once every other game pitcher, only if you're in high leverage situations.
And that's one of their strengths too, is actually a good bullpen, no?
Yes, and they've had a great bullpen already. And now, because of that, they got Miller in there. They could trade some of their bullpen pieces and or a starter for more depth anywhere. A.J. Preller is one of the biggest gunslinger general managers in professional sports. He does this year after year. He is the bombshell general manager of the trade deadline every single year.
So he's like the guy that managed it like a fantasy football team.
He's
or
it's fantasy sports to him.
Like I love the trade deadline in fantasy football because I do not have any loyalty to any of my guys. I don't care if I hit big on you. I flip guys back and forth. I consolidate, I expand, I consolidate, I expand to make my team a little bit better by the end of the trade deadline, that the team that I commission or the league that I commission for my team. So I appreciate that. It's fun to see in real life.
It is fun to see, but imagine if you're a Padre fan here. You're the number 1 team in the MLB in bullpen ERA. So you're the number 1 in Major League Baseball in bullpen ERA, and you trade your sort of golden bullet. You fire that bullet away for an additional closer, and you're going to get another reliever on top of that. It's strange. Instead of using that bullet to get you a real position of need.
Because it would make a lot more sense if that wasn't the case, if they didn't have a top bullpen in Major League Baseball, because there is one thing, as a baseball fan, one of the more frustrating flaws in a team that you root for is the bullpen.
Right.
Like, you just want to throw a bunch of money at it, or you want to throw a bunch of resources in prospects, draft, whatever, at it to make it go away and not be horrible, because that can eat at you and really bite you in the rear end come postseason time. But if you already are pretty darn good at having relief arms in the pen, yeah, that kind of stinks. A guy that you're excited to see down the line, a good slow burn payoff as a sports fan.
Miller's going to do a great job for them. He really is. But Mason Miller, that is, who just got traded to the San Diego Padres in exchange for Leo DeVries and 3 other prospects. But the Padres are sitting there with a 2.98 ERA. Nobody else is below 3.2. And they get the lowest whip in the league as well. So they don't walk guys, and they don't give up runs. And imagine shaking that up. It's a little, let's bolster the best part of the team. Does it make sense? Yes, but now you have 2 closers, and you don't necessarily need 2 closers. And you need players in the out. They need bats. They need a couple players in the outfield. They need an infielder. Manny Machado's not going to be there forever. That's the type of guy, DeVries, they were looking to replace him. The Padres are excellent at finding this talent, and they're excellent. They're even more excellent at shipping it out at a high price tag. I would understand if you were unhappy as a Padre fan. I would understand that. It's been a weird trade deadline so far because some of the usual suspects stayed a little quiet. Yankees, a little quiet. They've been very protective of their prospects, but it's been the Blue Jays, the Mariners, the Padres who have made the biggest trades.
What's the time? What's the deadline?
6 o'clock.
Okay. So we'll be on the air all the way until the end.
Yeah. And I imagine you're going to see a couple. Stephen Kwan, the outfielder for the Cleveland Guardians, is another one who is probably going to get dealt based on, Shane Bieber got shipped out to Toronto, and he's probably going to get shifted. And you know who he's being floated to? San Diego Padres.
Okay, I was going to say it's not the New York Yankees. Stephen Kwan has a history with the left field bleachers in the Bronx.
They also don't need an outfielder. They don't need an outfielder. What they do need is a bunch of guys who could pitch. But what the Padres need, they need a bat in the outfield. They need one. So that would be all of a sudden. Preller's playing not chess. He's playing Monopoly. Oh, I got this. All right, let's go buy this. Let's go do this. Let's go do that. Doesn't even bother to really take his time with it. They're going to be they're probably going to make another big move.
Yeah, from a Yankees fan perspective, if we could trade for just a defensive clinic, like you're playing travel baseball at Frozen Ropes, I would like the Yankees to just get better defensively, and the same exact type of clinic that you'll see during travel baseball at Myrtle Beach. How about a class on base running? Yeah. Those two things would be nice, which are not tangible gets from the trade deadline. But I would appreciate that from a Yankees fan perspective.
Now, what the Padres did was a bombshell of a trade with the Oakland Athletics, the Athletics, period. Mason Miller and J.P. Sears, 2 pitchers, one of them who is the closer of the Oakland A's, for Leo DeVries, who is the 3rd overall prospect in baseball, an 18-year-old and single A at the moment, and then 3 relief pitchers that are in the minors at the moment. 2 of them are good players. The third one, you kind of throw away, but they got their number 1 and 3 prospects for the San Diego Padre organization. How about that?
Yeah, like you alluded to, the prospect hugging wears me tiresome because...
But then there's the other side. You're a Padre fan. You haven't even seen a prospect get moved up through the rankings.
That's fine.
Yeah.
If you're lucky, these guys turn into what you're acquiring.
Yeah.
That's where I kind of land on it.
Yeah, and think about the Padres for a second. They had Jackson Merrill. Tatis blew up. Like, they got guys that come through, so I understand your point.
They only have so many birds that are in the bush. Like, get me some birds in the hand for once. That's what I'm kind of looking for as a baseball fan at this point.
Right, and the teams that are contending want teams that – see, this is good. This is a classic move that if this works, if the Padres can capitalize and make a run, this is the team that also played the Dodgers better than anybody last year. They had them in the Game 5. They lost big, but they had them dead to rights in that series in the NLDS. And if they can capitalize and win something out of this, all of a sudden it's worth it. All of a sudden it's worth it. And then they're going to be looking to trade for Leo DeVries back in 4 years for a bunch of prospects. Watch that happen. If it works, Padres and A.J. Preller, their general manager, are going to be utilized and viewed as geniuses. But the A's come out of this looking pretty good because the A's come out of this with a big number of prospects and a big-time young player who's going to rise up the ranks probably quickly and make a name for himself at the major leagues. The problem that I have as an A's fan is if he's going to come up and be great, then you can't pay him. And if he's going to come up and bust, then you're wondering what happened. Where's Mason Miller? Is it really a win-win when you get 5 years out of him? Salary cap, need it.
So I guess your real gripe is small market baseball teams simply should not buy jerseys.
It's a death cycle.
You can never fall in love with a guy because he will not be there very long.
The death cycle.
So better off buying jerseys with no name or
buy
number
a legend.
on the back.
Buy a Ricky Henderson jersey.
There you go.
Buy something like that.
Go with the cap.
Go Eric Chaz. Go get a Jason Giambi jersey. Go get a Johnny Damon jersey. 2 guys who left. Keep that in mind. But have some fun with it. But I agree. I'm a little indifferent. I'm back and forth. But my ultimate takeaway is the A's are going to trade these players again. They will trade their good players in exchange for prospects until the cows come home. That's why I can't be overly excited when they get these 4 big prospects in for a reliever. Now, the reliever market is absolutely absurd. Nobody should be trading 4 prospects for a relief pitcher. But the Padres are unafraid. The Padres are fearless.
You said he could possibly be turned into a starter. Or is that just reading the tea leaves based on need for the Padres?
People are hypothesizing.
Okay.
what reporters are hypothesizing.
Oh, I hate when that happens with the team I root for, trying to turn a relief arm into a starter.
A guy who throws
loses the edge that he has.
Yep.
Jabba Chamberlain. That's the experiment that I recall.
Yep. And if and when it doesn't work, it's hard to. You could always move it back, but it's hard.
Never the same.
Never the same.
I'll give those.
Or you're asking for an arm injury.
Right. 17 pitches of lightning every other day. Sign me up for that over a guy who gets shelled in the first, never quite has it, and then he's out in the fourth inning every single.
888-760-3776, the Baptist Health Hotline. Is the idea of a big prospect overrated in baseball? Is it a little overspent just how much people put stock into getting prospects, especially small market teams? Especially them. I think we put a little too much stock into the prospects, but again, there's a time and a place where the offer's too good to refuse. I think that's what the A's ran into today, and that's why they shipped out Mason Miller. As the deadline inches closer, 6 p.m. today, we will be on air up until then, giving you updates throughout. See if the Yankees do anything. See if the Dodgers make some more moves. Phillies, are they going to get another bat? Stephen Kwan is a name to watch for the Cleveland Guardians and whether he's going to be shifted out and moved. But we will keep an eye on all of that as we continue onward here. Colin Russo, Christian Cat. Colin Russo filling in for Theo Dorsey, who's usually on Theoretically Speaking. He is on sabbatical today, so we will not hear from him. But we're going to take a timeout, and on the flip side, get into some more trade deadline stuff, what the biggest trades were outside of this Mason Miller deal, who got better, who got worse, and who is still, we're poking it with the stick. Hey, do something. We'll get into that next. It's Theoretically Speaking, and do the get-around, actually. We'll have some fun with that. Theoretically Speaking, ESPN 106.3.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. This is ESPN 106.3.
Look, up in the sky. It's a bird.
It's a plane.
It's DQ Grill and Chill's new Superman Cake Batter Cookie Dough Blizzard!
This limited time treat combines DQ's signature soft serve, dyed blue, of course, along with sugar cookie dough, cake batter flavor, and sprinkles. The Superman Cake Batter Cookie Dough Blizzard is available for a limited time only at DQ Grill and Chill with 2 locations, 4828 Lake Worth Road and US 1.
Just south of North Lake!
Calling all sports fans, grab your MVP card and head to Duffy's where you can catch all of the action. Not an MVP? Sign up for free and start earning rewards today. Duffy's is voted the best sports grill year after year with their award-winning burgers and wings. Don't forget about Duffy's famous 2-for-1 drinks all day, every day. And with over 80 TVs in every location, you'll never miss a minute of the game. Visit Duffy'sMVP.com to learn more. Duffy's, our game is always on.
Experience the power and prestige of the new 2025 Range Rover Sport P530 Dynamic SE. Now available for lease at just $15.29 a month for 36 months. With $89.95 due at signing, you'll be behind the wheel of true luxury and performance. But hurry, offers like this don't last forever. Visit Land Rover Palm Beach today and drive the future of sophistication. Land Rover, above and beyond.
Breaking news on ESPN 106.3 is brought to you by St. Lucie Battery and Tire.
This just in, we begin this hour with breaking news.
When news breaks, ESPN 106.3 has it covered.
We've had developments. ESPN 106.3 can now report.
When your vehicle breaks, St. Lucie Battery and Tire fixes it. Stay tuned to ESPN 106.3 for more breaking news. Brought to you by St. Lucie Battery and Tire.
Hey, Steph Prince here, General Manager of ESPN West Palm, to tell you about a team that has meant a lot to me and this community for a long time. Bob and the team at Bradley Heating and Air Conditioning have been helping me stay cool for years, whether at home or in the office. And living in South Florida with 3 kids, I don't know what I'd do without them. Family owned and operated, serving Royal Palm Beach and beyond since 1980. Let the knowledgeable and trained team at Bradley help you with your residential and commercial needs, installation, repair, seasonal maintenance, upgrades of all makes and styles and models of HVAC equipment, and so much more. Bradley Heating and Air Conditioning does things right the first time and makes the process smooth, stress-free, and most importantly, keeps you cool. Give them a call at 561-793-7497. That's 561-793-7497 or bradleyair.com. any need, big or small, trust the amazing team at Bradley Heating and Air Conditioning.
The Club at Lost Lake, a championship Fazio design golf course in Hope Sound. Golf and social memberships are now available with no waiting list and immediate access. The course and club will see over $10 million in capital improvements and is one of the best private club values in the area. Experience the beauty and challenge of this renowned course for yourself. Enjoy year-round access to exclusive amenities and events. Elevate your game, elevate your experience. Discover the Club at Lost Lake. Visit clublostlake.com to schedule a visit today.
It's Theo Dorsey, and I'm feeling hot, hot, hot. Temperatures are up, but your water shouldn't be full of mystery floaties. Culligan's got your back with water testing and reverse osmosis systems to keep things clean, cool, and crisp this summer. And get this, you can try it for just $10 a month. Stay cool, stay hydrated, and stop drinking who knows what. Visit Culligan.com today to schedule your free water test.
Hey, Culligan man!
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios, Theo Dorsey is theoretically speaking. Streaming live on YouTube, here's Theo Dorsey.
No Theo today. Colin Russo in on Theoretically Speaking on ESPN 106.3. Also streaming live, YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter/X at ESPN West Palm. We got Christian Cat, as always, behind the glass with the City Place Studios in downtown West Palm Beach. And the last day of July 2025. Hope everybody's having a wonderful afternoon as we got you covered right here for the next about 3.5 hours on ESPN 106.3. We got the trade deadline, the MLB trade deadline, which closes at 6 p.m. I'm sure we'll see a couple of notable moves between now and then. And Mason Miller of my A's, I keep saying Oakland, my A's getting shipped over to the Padres. We'll see if the Yankees make a move. We'll see if Alcantara gets moved. Lot of big names to follow. 888-760-3776 with prospects being shipped in favor of Mason Miller. Do we overrate the status of an MLB prospect? Is it a little overrated to put a lot of stock in, you got 4 prospects here. Oh, this prospect's apparently really good. He's 18 years old. He's playing in single A. Maybe I'm on the team that we put a little too much stock into it. If he's going to be great, fantastic. But you're talking about a coin flip versus a proven commodity. That's just my takeaway on it. I still think there's a point in which you have to trade the guy. They're giving 4 players for a relief pitcher for a team in last place. But I digress. 888-760-3776, the Baptist Health Hotline. Are you experiencing foot and ankle pain? You need to see an expert in the field. Baptist Health Orthopedic Care. They got a team of foot and ankle orthopedic surgeons and specialists who are regarded as leaders in their specialty. Visit baptisthealth.net/ortho to learn more today. Baptist Health Orthopedic Care combines its resources of experienced physicians and leading-edge treatments and technology to provide advanced orthopedic, foot and ankle, joint replacement, spine, and sports medicine care. Visit baptisthealth.net/ortho for more information today. Baptist Health Orthopedic Care, they got offices conveniently located in Palm Beach County through the Florida Keys. Learn more by visiting baptisthealth.net/ortho today. All right, Christian, I feel like traveling today on a Thursday edition. We know you're traveling this weekend. You got a Nashville and Chicago on the radar for a big road trip, moving up your girlfriend to the great city of Chicago. So you're going to be traveling a little bit too. But let's fast forward it. Let's get to a little Safebound get around.
The Safebound Get Around is brought to you by Safebound Moving and Storage, South Florida's most trusted moving company. You're safe with Safebound.
Safebound Get Around, where we go from city to city to give you headline to headline. And, well, today is the Major League Baseball trade deadline, so you're going to be familiar with a lot of these names and a lot of these teams.
Next stop,
Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Because the Phillies made a big swing for a new closer. The Phillies got a right-handed pitcher, Yohan Duran, from the Twins in exchange for a catcher, Eduardo Tate, and starting pitcher, Mick Abel. Good move. Bad move for the Phillies, or just made sense for both sides?
Well, now it looks better because if you're a Phillies fan talking about what you gave up in exchange for Duran versus what the Padres gave up for Miller, there's more, obviously, control with Mason Miller, but they got to be pleased because he is playing very good. He's playing great this year. He's another flamethrower. And The Phillies have a bad bullpen. Therefore, they need to get bullpen arms. Padres have a great bullpen, and they still went to go get bullpen arms. I guess they can never have enough. Ask the Dodgers. But great move. One of the better moves, I think, of the deadline because of what the other relief market looked like and just how much they needed a premier closer. They also kept him away from Los Angeles, the Dodgers, that is. So I think it's a good move right there. Let's get out of Philly.
Next stop.
I'm going to Chicago on Sunday, but let's skip right to there right now on the Safebound Get Around. We're in Chicago. We're in Illinois because the Cubs brought in Mike Soroka from the Nationals in exchange for shortstop Ronnie Cruz and outfielder Christian Franklin.
I like it.
I feel like this move is a bigger headline like 4 years ago, right? Mike Soroka was a hot name.
Yeah, and he had the Achilles tear, I believe, 3 years ago. And so we didn't see him for like a year and a half. But you're right, like a bigger name a while ago. But weirdly enough, we've seen it time and time again. Older pitchers that we haven't really seen hit the top of the summit again. They just sometimes need a change of scenery. Ask Chris Sale this question. Ask Charlie Morton. Sometimes all it takes is just a different clubhouse. So do I understand it? Yes. Do I have high hopes for it? I guess the only thing you can do is wait and see. I don't know if this makes total sense. If he stinks, then you're going to be like, oh, God. He's having a bad year.
Mm-hmm.
But sometimes all these veterans need is a change of scenery. For that, I think you got to try it.
Next stop.
Let's go to Seattle, Washington. Probably the bigger position player we're going to see get dealt at the deadline is Eugenio Suarez, and he goes to the Mariners in exchange from Diamondbacks Tyler Locklear, right-handed pitcher Hunter Crenton, and pitcher Juan Burgos.
I love this trade because what has been the Achilles heel of the Seattle Mariners and Seattle in general the past 4 or 5 years, other than needing a bumper shoot every time they walk, which is an umbrella, by the way, they constantly deal with an inept ability to hit the ball. That's it. They can't hit. They always have pitchers. The pitchers are never healthy at the same time. But I think a guy who has 40 homers essentially at this point in the season, yeah, no-brainer. No-brainer. And the hallway, and I know he's a rental. What are the Mariners looking for? Right? I mean, the problem is the Mariners, it's synonymous with losing to the Astros in the ALD. They screamed ALDS, lost to the Astros. But you need the big bat. Excuse me. You need the big bat. I think this is an easy one. Love it.
Next stop.
Let's go north of the border, Toronto. Is it Ontario? Is that the province?
That's it.
Okay. I don't know all those provinces. We got
Alberta.
Yeah, forgot about that
Ontario.
one. Okay. Calgary. No, it's a city.
No, Calgary's. I'm wondering the one that Calgary's in. I can't place it.
Northern Territory, is that one?
Maybe.
Am I thinking of something else?
Like the tundra?
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe they don't have a name for that. I don't know. That's all I got.
We're in Toronto, which isn't too far from the States, because the Blue Jays go big. They wanted a starting pitcher, and they got one with Shane Bieber in exchange for starting pitcher Kyle Steven from the Guardians. I believe he's coming off with some Tommy John. What did you make of this?
I think that apparently this Kyle Steven is going to be a really good get, and he's really lighting up he's lit up the minors and people like him. So it seems to be a good return. But Bieber makes a lot of sense. The Blue Jays are going for it. The Yankees are laying lifeless. The Red Sox are sort of on the edge of teetering of being really good and really not. The Toronto Blue Jays are playing fantastic. So because of that, I think they need a little bit more top-end talent. Bieber's been there. Again, veteran starters, sometimes you just need a different spot, a change of scenery to really get something out of it. So for that, I think this is a worth it move. They probably overspent a little bit if this guy's really good in the minors. But ultimately, I think getting Bieber at this point, 20 games over, you got to try it.
Next stop.
Wow. Dodgers superstar in Los Angeles, Shohei Ohtani. He didn't get traded. He left to start last night against the Reds with the trainer in the fourth inning. The great news is not an arm injury. some cramping, tightness in his lower body. Is it the best news you can ask for, Colin, in terms of an injury on the mound to Shohei Ohtani?
Yeah, well, granted, he's been able to hit before with an arm injury. They don't need him to be a pitcher. But if he had some sort of major arm injury, he'd be done. He'd never pitch again. He'd be done with that.
Now, he is more valuable as a hitter, is he not?
Yes, 100%. But the Dodgers need pitching more.
Okay.
But if he keeps getting hurt on the mound, arm injuries, forget about it.
And like you said, okay, he can, but now maybe it's not the best news in the world if it's a lower body injury. Because if you've got a bad knee or whatever, or a wrong muscle, that'll take you out of the lineup because of an injury you might have suffered on the mound. That's where you really start to question whether or not this two-way for a career is going to be viable.
Now, Shohei yesterday stayed in the lineup as a DH, so he was able to deal with it. He's been pretty good about his health other than that arm injury he had when he was pitching. I imagine he'll be fine. This is probably the best news because you heard about he was pitching well, then 6 straight wild pitches essentially, and he was all over the plate. He couldn't place anything. Getting out of there, you thought the arm would be funky, but got to be pleased that he was able not only to stay in the game and hit, but it's nothing long term.
And that's the get around.
As a get around presented by Safebound, of course. A bumper shoot, you heard of that? That's another word for an umbrella. I learned that today.
A bumper shoot?
Bumper shoot.
That is the name of someone like in Harry Potter. Bumper shoot.
Like Gryffindor, Slytherin, Bumbershoot?
I was thinking more of an actual character than a house.
Right.
Like Bumbershoot. He's a wizard that specializes in frogs. That's what I would say what Bumbershoot sounds like.
Professor Bumbershoot.
Yes.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. That's it's a type of umbrella. I learned that today.
So a type of umbrella or another name for an umbrella?
I think the latter. I think it is a synonym for umbrella. How many types of umbrellas do you know?
Yeah, a golf umbrella, the see-through umbrella, the umbrella that's very, very small they use in Asia.
Yeah, like a pool umbrella.
Pool umbrella. There's actually a lot of umbrellas.
Right.
Hold on.
Maybe there might be a room for a Bumbershoot to pop in there.
The umbrella that attaches to your beach chair. So not
That's
the one
the
that
same
goes
as a pool chair, right? They just have a different ending. No?
It's got like a clip at the bottom.
Yeah.
So it's a personal beach umbrella. A pool umbrella just slides through the slot that's between two different pool chairs.
Pool umbrellas, I believe, are heavier too because they're not meant to be terribly mobile.
Have you ever seen when there's a big windstorm on the beach and maybe their rental does not take their stuff down?
It's going to kill somebody. I mean, they move and they go because it's like a sail. So the sail stays on the back and you get the pointy end going on the front. It's crazy. Yeah.
We're missing some umbrellas here.
Are we?
Got to.
Handhelds.
Think of the Victorian umbrellas that are there for the sun and not for the rain, that are very small.
Yes, like the Wimbledon umbrellas.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever, the fashion umbrellas, whatever the hell those are called. That's high society. You'll see that at Wimbledon. The royal, that reminds me of royal family.
Mm-hmm.
That's dress up.
We might get to double digits if we really set down pen and paper. So a Bumbershoot is an American or an English name, or is it a British name for umbrella?
I don't have a ton of background on Bumbershoot. I just know that it is a synonym for umbrella. That is what I know, and I'm going to find this out right now. That's all I got. And it's
just a brand. Bumbershoot's like a thing. It's a lineup. Yeah, Bumbershoot's a music festival. Weezer's going to headline Bumbershoot on Labor Day weekend.
Hold on. According to Slate Magazine, it means umbrella, but it's not British. There's no British association. So nobody knows.
You can go see Weezer and Voyage to the Blue Planet on Saturday, August 30th at the Seattle Center.
Yeah. I think this is U.S. slang on umbrella.
California slang, maybe.
That's all I got. And then apparently the synonyms, Australia, Britain, Ireland, New Zealand, informal, they call a umbrella a brolly. There you go. How about that?
Nice.
And here's it in a sentence. It smells like rain. Perhaps we should take along a Bumbershoot.
You had me at perhaps. That's not from this hemisphere.
That's where you know it's Merriam-Webster.
Mm-hmm.
All right, there you go. It's generally not used in Britain. That's usage notes. Since 1940, so this is a big-time word that's been used for a while. Many Americans have mistakenly assumed the word is British slang, but the word is generally not used in Britain. Fascinating.
Oh, so you said New Zealand and Australia.
I think it's U.S., originally and chiefly United States, but the synonym is brolly. That's in the other places. That's in
brolly. That's what they call umbrellas.
B-R-O-L-L-Y. Britain dated. That's what they say.
All right.
Informal. Broly. I can imagine
Get
that.
educated by listening to ESPN 106.3.
There's your umbrella talk. It is July 31st. That is Christian Cat. I am Colin Russo, filling in for Theo Dorsey on Theoretically Speaking. Of course, we'll take a time out here. ESPN 106.3.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. This is ESPN 106.3.
Calling all sports fans, grab your MVP card and head to Duffy's where you can catch all of the action. Not an MVP? Sign up for free and start earning rewards today. Duffy's is voted the best sports grill year after year with their award-winning burgers and wings. Don't forget about Duffy's famous 2-for-1 drinks all day, every day. And with over 80 TVs in every location, you'll never miss a minute of the game. Visit Duffy'sMVP.com to learn more. Duffy's, our game is always on.
Breaking news on ESPN 106.3 is brought to you by St. Lucie Battery and Tire.
This just in. We begin this hour with breaking news.
When news breaks, ESPN 106.3 has it covered.
We've had developments. ESPN 106.3 can now report.
When your vehicle breaks, St. Lucie Battery and Tire fixes it. Stay tuned to ESPN 106.3 for more breaking news. Brought to you by St. Lucie Battery and Tire.
What if every use of your debit card turns spare change into something meaningful, like growing your savings and supporting local community causes? With Flagler Credit Union's Impact Checking with Everyday Change, your spare change can have big impact. Each transaction can be rounded up to grow your savings and support nonprofits that provide meals, shelter, and essential services locally. Make an impact in your life and in your community. Open your Impact Checking account today. Insured by NCUA, official credit union of Florida Atlantic University Athletics.
Hey, Steph Prince here, General Manager of ESPN West Palm, to tell you about a team that has meant a lot to me and this community for a long time. Bob and the team at Bradley Heating and Air Conditioning have been helping me stay cool for years, whether at home or in the office. And living in South Florida with 3 kids, I don't know what I'd do without them. Family owned and operated, serving Royal Palm Beach and beyond since 1980. Let the knowledgeable and trained team at Bradley help you with your residential and commercial needs, installation, repair, seasonal maintenance, upgrades of all makes and styles and models of HVAC equipment, and so much more. Bradley Heating and Air Conditioning does things right the first time and makes the process smooth, stress-free, and most importantly, keeps you cool. Give them a call at 561-793-7497. That's 561-793-7497 or BradleyAir.com. Any need, big or small, trust the amazing team at Bradley Heating and Air Conditioning.
Kaiser University's flagship campus. The 100-acre residential campus at 2600 North Military Trail in West Palm Beach extends Kaiser University's educational offerings to over 100 degrees. Kaiser University also has an athletic program with 26 national championships, including back-to-back-to-back lacrosse titles, and they just won their first ever national championship for men's tennis. Visit KUSeahawks.com for the latest on the championship flagship campus of Kaiser University.
This is ESPN 106.3, a Good Karma Brands radio station.
Find official rules for all your favorite ESPN West Palm contests by visiting ESPNWestPalmContests.com. That's ESPNWestPalmContests.com. You're listening to ESPN 106.3, the ESPN app, and streaming on your smart speaker.
It's Theo Dorsey, and I'm feeling hot, hot, hot. Temperatures are up, but your water shouldn't be full of mystery floaties. Culligan's got your back with water testing and reverse osmosis systems to keep things clean, cool, and crisp this summer. And get this, you can try it for just $10 a month. Stay cool, stay hydrated, and stop drinking who knows what. Visit Culligan.com today to schedule your free water test.
Hey, Culligan man!
Experience the power and prestige of the new 2025 Range Rover Sport P530 Dynamic SE. Now available for lease at just $15.29 a month for 36 months. With $89.95 due at signing, you'll be behind the wheel of true luxury and performance. But hurry, offers like this don't last forever. Visit Land Rover Palm Beach today and drive the future of sophistication. Land Rover, above and beyond.
The weather is heating up and summer is here. Stay cool with EDS Air Conditioning. Right now, qualified customers can take advantage of 0% interest for 60 months on a brand new AC. Hot streaks belong in sports, not in your home. With over 800 Google reviews and a 4.8 star rating, EDS is the name you can trust since 2006. Visit EDSIsYes.com today. Game day comfort starts now. Don't sweat the small stuff.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios, Theo Dorsey is theoretically speaking. Streaming live on YouTube, here's Theo Dorsey.
No Theo Dorsey, Colin Russo filling in on Theoretically Speaking. It's ESPN 106.3. Streaming live on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter/X at ESPN West Palm. Christian Cat with us behind the glass. We're at the City Place Studios in downtown West Palm Beach. The Baptist Health Orthopedic Care Line, 888-760-3776. So the idea of prospects in baseball slightly overrated. Do we put too much stock in the possibility of players in congruence, I guess, in debatably against whether players who currently are good versus who could be good? We put a little too much stock in that as the trade deadline is in the thick of it at the moment. A couple NFL storylines to follow because it's training camp time. We're to get the Hall of Fame game. Is that tomorrow?
It's today.
That's tonight?
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
Chargers, somebody else.
Never did anything for me was the Hall of Fame game. Never did anything for me. Because these guys are 12 days into training camp. Nobody has any interest in playing their top guys, playing them hard or playing them recklessly. You're not going to see anybody. Chargers in the Hall of Fame game, too. I mean.
Is it always the Lions? I think it's always the Lions.
I think it is always the Lions.
So Chargers versus the Lions tonight. I know it's a shame because as a football forward radio station, because that's one thing everyone can agree upon is that football rocks. Their first actual uniforms on a field against one another, taste of football is not palatable. It is not something that I would choose to watch.
Make that argument for the entire preseason. I'd make that argument for the entire preseason.
Yeah, I'm with you.
And it's like, yeah, I'm desperate. I'm very much excited for football, but I am not dying to watch preseason football. I can't even find the games. The only team I'd want to watch is Jacksonville. That's my team. I want to see who some of the rookies do. I want to see if Travis Hunter gets a spot both ways. I want to see that.
I feel like even that is
it's hard
so
to find.
It's
hard
deceptive.
To find it.
Well,
yeah,
they're like locally broadcast, and then like maybe once every 10 years you have a Victor Cruz situation where I remember the Giants had a nationally broadcasted preseason game.
Yep.
Maybe it was against the Jets. And Victor
Rex
Cruz,
Ryan said, who the heck is that? Number 3.
Yes. And Victor Cruz just went off, made a couple of unbelievable catches, just showing hand-eye coordination and pure hands. And then that became the Victor Cruz that you knew and loved and won a Super Bowl with, who had a 99-yard touchdown against the Jets in the regular season. But very few times do you see a player pop on the scene during the preseason and end up actually mattering. So remember, like Deuce Vaughn out of Kansas State was good for the Cowboys in the game, and you didn't think he's still on the roster.
Right. And his father's a coach on the team, too, and that was a big story. I don't think there's anything more overrated than the prospect when everybody's saying, oh, we got, two Saturdays till football, one Sunday, and if it's not the regular season they're talking about, who cares?
You know what that actually is? This is all code. This is media members. This is sports entertainers, in a way, have saying, like, hey, you should care about me right now. Hey, by the way, like, you're on your football off season where you might be just on sports vacation, where you're just catching up on TV shows, catching up on movies. Hey, I'm Adam Schefter, and I got a whole lot important today because the Hall of Fame game indicates the start of football. Or 3 weeks ago, the beginning of training camps indicates the start of football. So I matter a lot.
I personally think following along on joint practices is more interesting than the actual preseason game because the starters get a lot of run against their first string defense, and you see a lot of that in the actual joint practices. You see what? 6 plays?
Those happen now? Like, are they still happening during the preseason?
It's before the second game or third game they do it.
Okay.
Usually. Some teams do multiple. Some teams do I believe Jacksonville is Tampa Bay. No, not Tampa Bay. Somebody else.
I'm more excited for Hard Knocks because of the Bills than I am.
You're into that.
Not always. I'm into that when the team is actually interesting to me. I thought it was a very put your reputation on the line and show how confident you are as the Buffalo Bills. Bring the cameras on in here. We have nothing to hide, and we are not going to be distracted because the Bills were executing the quarterback sneak away from beating the Chiefs and being in the Super Bowl. Like, they did almost everything right and good enough to be in the Super Bowl last year.
I can't imagine. You're right. That immense focus works, but you got to imagine that some of the players, most of the players, don't want the camera crew around. They don't want somebody following coach into practice. And maybe I would imagine it's distracting. And I don't think there's ever been a great team that has previewed Hard Knocks. Has there? Was it maybe the Rams that one year?
Well, part of it is there are a couple of right to refusal clauses. And I think if you're in the playoffs, you can say no.
Yeah, playoffs can say no, and new coaches can say no.
Right, so that takes away a lot of the teams. You'll never see the Patriots on it, when they were in their heyday. And the Patriots hog all the Super Bowls. So you kind of judge it on a weird grading scale. But I'm very excited for Josh Allen and the Bills because Josh Allen's a funny dude.
Funny dude, likable personality. And maybe you'll get a little bit of a sense of the new stadium. That's actually an interesting point because they got that new stadium that's going to be ready, I believe, next year. Outdoors up there in Buffalo. But, yeah, I would say the Hard Knocks hasn't been great. You know what I thought it was pretty good? I like the Raiders one with John Gruden. I thought that was funny because you need a likable personality at the forefront who likes the camera, likes the spotlight. And they actually, when they highlight a player that's blowing up in training camp and you never hear from him again, Darren Waller was that guy for the Raiders. And he was a big story, a big topic because of his recovery from, I believe, alcoholism and drug use. And he ended up being a very notable and big player who's had a great career. So that, I think, things worked because you had a lot of likable personalities and some polarizing personalities and a very entertaining coach. I actually like that one. The other ones, I really don't think it's been great in a long time. See, I
didn't watch it when it was supposedly great. I just didn't have HBO as a kid. So, I just, never, I was an HBO-less household my entire life. Until maybe
you got HBO Max?
Yeah, I bummed it off a buddy to watch Game of Thrones, and then I've had it ever since. So this is a 2019 till now that I've had HBO and have been able to at least try it out. So that, to me, I am more excited for Hard Knocks being released whenever that does happen.
Did you watch the in-season one?
No.
That doesn't do anything for me.
No, I get enough football.
Yeah.
Seriously, this scratches the football itch until we get actual games, whether it's college or pro. But I don't need midweek
updates on behind-the-scenes stuff.
No, I have college football to do that. Or that's my one day off of watching football in primetime television to watch wrestling or to watch something else.
Right. Did you get into the quarterback series on Netflix?
Watched the first episode. Didn't really draw me in to watch episode 2.
Did you watch the first season?
No. Not the full season. No, I watched, I think Kirk Cousins had an episode, but that was the newest.
That didn't do much for me either. The behind-the-scenes football stuff doesn't scratch the itch for me. It really doesn't.
So, I think what it is, we watch so much sports that if we're not actually watching the live sports, we're not watching something sports. I got to watch my movies in a relationship, so I'm going to watch the other TV shows as well, whether it's binging a show we've already watched or watching a show for the first time.
Yeah.
You kind of got to get your reprieve from the live sports when you get in season, especially.
I'm not going to compare it to movies, but sports to me are sports. It's not reality TV. Sports are sports. You're there to watch a game. You're there to see what's going on there, to see what somebody says or something like that. I don't get that necessarily. I love movies and TV shows. I don't get that sort of satisfaction. And I'm not a reality TV show guy. I'm not saying that Hard Knocks is reality television. But, it's all along the lines. It's behind the scenes. That's the idea. Sports are sports in my head, and then the TV shows are TV shows in my other head. The mix and match doesn't do a lot for me.
See, it got me into a sport. Watching Netflix's Full Swing got me interested to watching golf, and I have ever since they released that first season.
I watched, the first season.
And it got my girlfriend into it, too. That's her favorite sport to watch that isn't football now is just golf. And if you took away fantasy football, she probably would prefer to watch golf over football in general.
Really?
Because of getting interested in these characters, because these are individuals on the golf course. So you are single-mindedly rooting for these guys compared to on Hard Knocks or something like that. You don't see those characters you know and love as vividly because they're in pads with the helmet on. And unless they're the quarterback or receiver or a running back, it's hard to actually pinpoint the player that you fell in love with a documentary-style production. Follow it to the on-course real competition.
Yeah, I get. Yeah, you're right. To fairly to the point, golfers, you want to follow the player because of, yes, you might think he's a great player, but you also you want to be attracted to the personality. You want to follow along with the personality. You want to be interested in Scotty Scheffler because you know Scotty Scheffler is a funny, cool, relatable guy. You want to follow Tiger because you know Tiger is excellent at golf, but is also a very Kobe-like mentality typed athlete. Rory, if you're like Rory, if you're from Northern Ireland, something like that. Golf needed to sort of attach a name to a face and attach a personality to the name.
It's not just a leaderboard anymore with just a bunch of names.
Totally. And football doesn't need that because the sport itself lends itself to you knowing the players, and the sport itself is entertaining whether you know the players or not.
Oh, yeah. Throw on a random Tuesday night action game where the final score is 37-36, and you will be thoroughly entertained.
Golf doesn't do that for you unless you are a golf nut, but there's a reason you watch
I don't watch the DP World Tour because I don't really know the guys that well.
You're not a golf nut. You want to watch your guys.
Mm-hmm.
That's where that really, and I think F1 is somewhat similar. Attached that Drive to Survive series everybody got a kick out of. People attached a name to a face, a personality to the name, and therefore that gave the car a personality. You're just rooting for cars and multi-billion-dollar companies when you're watching F1. But if you know the driver, if you know these guys, and you attach a personality to it and a behind-the-scenes look, that's where it gets really good. That's Christian Cat, Colin Russo. One thing that I think could utilize a Hard Knocks, and I don't know if they do one, but it'd be really fun, but to see the behind-the-scenes of Kaiser University and to see the behind-the-scenes maybe at Kaiser University Athletics, because you could really see some greatness if you look behind the scenes of that.
Right, you'd be seeing a whole lot of greatness that the suspense would be gone because, wait a second, this is a Kaiser Seahawks sports team. I know at the end of the episode they're going to win that game or they're going to win that national championship. 26 of them. So more often than not, when you are talking Kaiser Seahawk Athletics, that season, that fun ride ends in a victory, which only so many programs can say that. How about the 2022 golf national champions? That's Kaiser. How about this year's tennis team capturing their first ever NAIA title on the men's side? Yeah, that's Kaiser. Kaiser's men's lacrosse team captured their third straight red banner this year. And also, they won their fifth Sun Conference Commissioner's Cup as an athletic department as a whole. That's led by the AD of the Year in the Sun Conference, Chris Swager, who you'll hear on the station next week. Looking forward to that. If you want the latest on championship Kaiser Seahawk athletic programs, go to kuseahawks.com. I was at Kaiser earlier today. Got a wedge lesson from Pete at the Kaiser University Golf Coaching Center. Just a side note, if you want to improve your golf game, go there. Yeah, kaisergolfcenter.com because, dude, I gained about 25 yards on my wedges with one lesson. Like, it was ridiculous. Pete told me 1, 2, 3 things, took a couple of swings with some tools, and now all of a sudden my game is at the next level. That's the kaisergolfcenter.com. And if it rains, they've got indoor facilities as well, so you'll be in good hands. A lot of great things going on at the flagship campus of Kaiser University right here in West Palm Beach. Just take the exit on Okeechobee off the Turnpike, the exit on Okeechobee on 95. Go to Military Trail and check out everything they've got going on.
Christian Cat, Colin Russo filling in for Theo Dorsey on Theoretically Speaking. I'm just looking at the ESPN Sports Center thing, and they got the Savannah Bananas versus the Firefighters.
Dude.
Watch live on ESPN Friday night on the bottom right as a thumbnail little.
Yeah, we don't have
promo.
We as an ESPN don't have exclusivity with the Savannah Bananas because I found out last night while watching wrestling on TBS, Turner Sports has got some Savannah Bananas games going on too.
Wow.
Like there's like a 6-team league It's not the firefighters, it's the party
What
animals.
firefighters? Is this a specific fire department that they're going against? Is there a team that they call themselves the firefighters? I'm gonna have to look into that.
I think that's it.
There's a team that they call.
Yes.
They got to be consistent of firefighters. You're going to upset firefighters from all over the country if you call yourself the firefighters.
This is like stolen valor.
It is.
Like, what's next?
Those are first responders. I don't call myself a police officer. I'm not a police officer.
A slippery slope. All of a sudden, we've got the Marines.
Yeah,
Just a
right.
bunch
We got the
of buff
Marine
dudes.
Corps. Yeah, Marine Corps. None of them served. We got the paramedics. This
You got the doctors.
A bunch of guys in scrubs, but they never stood 1 foot in an ambulance. In their
Someone
life.
chokes on a hot dog in the front row and is like, "We need a doctor here."
We
and
got,
you've got these
if only
guys.
we
who
had
got-
a full field of paramedics. Not a licensed doctor. Savannah Bananas. Oh my God, all the glamour.
you don't like him?
Yassified. Huh?
You don't like him?
I don't watch it. It's fun to watch the stories and the videos from in the stadium. That looks fun. I don't watch it on TV.
I'd go.
Nobody in
I
your
wouldn't
life
watch.
has ever come to you and said, "Yo, check the Savannah Bananas score. Did they win?" Nobody's ever said that to you. Nobody's ever going to say that either.
I would go to a Bananas game.
I would go.
When they
An
were
amusement
smaller,
park.
they came to a cacti.
Yeah, it's an amusement park. Six Flags, not baseball. It's Six Flags.
But also, like,
family-friendly environment. Have some fun with it.
We kind of grew, the axe got old with the Harlem Globetrotters. And that's kind of same situation where entertainment and sports are blending together to give you something. Baseball, do you think the Savannah Bananas will run its course?
Maybe. The one thing about the Globetrotters, you got to do that indoors, and it's been a thing for 50 years. Savannah Bananas, they could go to every city in the country and sell out at least once. But it's just so much glamour, the dancing, the singing, yassified. That's what they do. They love that.
You're dropping that word as if we're all supposed to yes.
I learned another word I learned today, yassified, glamour. The bells and whistles. That's the Savannah
Okay,
Bananas.
so like a bedazzled hat would be yassified?
Yes.
Okay.
I've learned that today. Learned a lot of words today. Christian, Cat, Colin Russo going into the second hour. The happy hour with Tina coming up. We'll loop in Christina Costanza to our discussion right here on Theoretically Speaking, ESPN 106.3.
Anajar and Levine.
Call 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733.
ESPN 106.3.
WESP Jupiter, a good karma brands radio station.
Business owners, are your employees driving you nuts? Is money tight? Or have you just poured your heart and soul into your business and now it's time to retire and just relax? At Transworld Business Advisors, they have buyers from all over the world ready to buy your business now. Call for a confidential conversation about your business's current value. 561-203-5121. That's 561-203-5121 or visit tworld.com today.
It's Theo Dorsey, and I'm feeling hot, hot, hot. Temperatures are up, but your water shouldn't be full of mystery floaties. Culligan's got your back with water testing and reverse osmosis systems to keep things clean, cool, and crisp this summer. And get this, you can try it for just $10 a month. Stay cool, stay hydrated, and stop drinking who knows what. Visit Culligan.com today to schedule your free water test.
Hey, Culligan man!
Look, up in the sky. It's a bird.
It's a plane!
It's DQ Grill and Chill's new Superman Cake Batter Cookie Dough Blizzard!
This limited time treat combines DQ's signature soft serve, dyed blue, of course, along with sugar cookie dough, cake batter flavor, and sprinkles. The Superman Cake Batter Cookie Dough Blizzard is available for a limited time only at DQ Grill and Chill with 2 locations, 4828 Lake Worth Road and US 1.
Just south of North Lake!
At St. Lucie Battery and Tire, batteries came before tires. We've been selling and servicing all types of batteries for over 50 years. So when you need a battery for nearly anything, we have it, as well as the fast professional installation you need. We carry premium batteries for all your needs: automotive, commercial, marine, RV, and specialty. We also offer delivery and on-site installation, serving our customers quality products for over 50 years in the home of honest, reliable service. Go to slbt.com and book your next appointment.
Calling all sports fans, grab your MVP card and head to Duffy's where you can catch all of the action. Not an MVP? Sign up for free and start earning rewards today. Duffy's is voted the best sports grill year after year with their award-winning burgers and wings. Don't forget about Duffy's famous 2-for-1 drinks all day, every day. And with over 80 TVs in every location, you'll never miss a minute of the game. Visit Duffy'sMVP.com to learn more. Duffy's, our game is always on.
When you're in pain and an hour seems like a day seems like a month, there's only one place to go for your treatment. Pain Care Florida. Our pain management specialists have the knowledge and experience in state-of-the-art procedures to relieve pain and get you moving. Time waits for no one, especially when you're in pain. Visit paincareflorida.com. Pain Care Florida. Stop hurting, start living today.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios.
The man your man could smell.
Theo Dorsey is theoretically speaking.
But are you a different animal and the same beast?
Streaming live on YouTube.
You're gonna break up with me because of what I do on the radio?
Here's Theo Dorsey.
No Theo Dorsey, Colin Russo filling in with alongside Christian Cat and Christina Costanza. It's Theoretically Speaking on ESPN 106.3. Streaming live. YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter/X. Just go to ESPN West Palm. You can catch us on podcast. Just go to Theoretically Speaking. You can catch full episodes and listen to it in full, commercial-free. Apple, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts, all those great places. Got another 3 hours. Got the MLB trade deadline coming up at 6 p.m. Eastern time, so we'll give you a little more updates as they come out. David Bednar, the closer for the Pittsburgh Pirates, was traded to the New York Yankees moments ago per Jeff Passan of ESPN. So the Yankees finally get another bullpen arm to sturdy that up, and Bednar's a good player, so it remains to be seen what they gave up, but they got a reliever in a hot reliever market at the moment, so good for the Yankees finally making a move. Everybody's waiting on Brian Cashman to see if he was alive, and he was. So a couple hours to go till that deadline, and we are now at the happy hour with Christina Costanza. Christina, how are you?
I'm good. 11 minutes late to the happy hour.
Were you waiting at 3 o'clock?
That's my time. That's when the happy hour starts.
Right. I'm going to stick up for Colin here. When you're on the radio for 4 hours, when you have something good, you can't let it go.
Okay, so we were in something good. I wasn't listening.
Oh, thanks.
So you weren't even listening. You just look at the clock. What we were talking about, and this is interesting coming from you because Christian and I watch a lot of live sports. You watch a loose amount of live sports. Would that be fair?
Yeah.
And
I'd rather attend live sporting events than watch it on TV.
Right. Okay.
Oh, so a lot you're taking live as an in-person.
Yes.
We're talking about just like watching it on TV.
No, I know. Yeah, like I don't.
Doesn't do it for you live on television.
No, not at all.
You could be sitting in the worst seat in the house at let's do a NBA basketball game. You're going to take that over watching it on television?
Totally.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Where we sat in Game 4 of Lightning Panthers. Great time. I had a good time, but we were sitting in
the second row from the top,
300 feet in the air.
That was still amazing. But hockey is my favorite type of sporting event to attend.
Okay, I digress there.
And
I agree with you.
The energy, I don't care where I'm sitting.
You just want to be in the building.
Yes.
That I agree with. But even an NFL stadium, you're sitting, a quarter mile away in the sky. You'd rather that than watching it on TV?
Yes, totally.
I disagree with that.
Wait, even football? Yeah.
I disagree with that with football. The stadiums are too big.
My parents, they really like for I've done for Christmas a Dolphins game for them. And most of the time, we're getting tickets that are pretty high up, and it's just being there.
The Dolphins are giving us tickets pretty high up.
No, I'm buying tickets that are pretty high up. Okay. That's that's my Christmas gift to my parents is I'm buying tickets for them.
But with you as well.
Wait, how expensive could these tickets be? You could spare a little bit more and get them closer.
It's multiple of us, though. I'm buying multiple tickets.
You're getting section 330. How those tickets at a Dolphins game can't be that expensive.
No.
This past year, it was on Christmas Eve. I think, or Christmas Day. It was Christmas Day.
You went to a popular game.
But, yes, it was actually Dallas and Dolphins. That's my dad's team. Dallas, Dolphins is my mom's team. So it was the perfect gift this past year. But even though we were pretty high up, it was still better to be there than to be watching it on TV.
That's also you being with your family. That's family time.
But still, I don't care who I was with. If I'm at the game, I would rather be there than watch it on TV.
I would take a great television watching experience over a bad viewing experience live and in person. If you have a pretty good seat, even if you have a decent seat and up, I'd consider it depending on the game. But I take a lot of things into consideration. I'm late. I'm stubborn about the idea. Traffic, where are we going to park? How are we going to get out? What's our exit strategy? Do we have to show up early?
That's way too much. You just go and enjoy the game and be in the moment.
And but then all of a sudden you get caught in 55 minutes of traffic on the way out, which is what you and I got trapped in after Game 4, Lightning Panthers. It was a great game because when the Panthers scored 2 straight in 11 seconds to win the game, that basically won the series.
But what if you were like at the game, and even if you were in the most terrible seat, but you got to witness like a crazy moment in sports?
Was there a crazy moment in the Miami Dolphins Dallas Cowboy game?
No, but still, that's my example. You said like high up in like a football stadium, but it's better to be in the like there at the game. If like a crazy moment happens, then I feel like watching on TV.
Wait, when was this game? Was this last Christmas?
I think so. Was it last or the year before? I don't remember. It was
It
like
was the
Christmas
year
Eve.
before.
Okay, yeah.
Because I don't remember anything memorable, except I don't know, a game-winning field goal. I don't even remember what happened in the game. How good could being in the game be for the NFL?
Because it was for my parents. It wasn't for me. Like I was there for my parents and for the holiday.
You could have walked down the street with your parents, still had a good time because it's your family time during the holidays.
Yeah, they like going to these games. They said like they enjoy like when we go to a football game. Like that's what my mom's saying. My mom every year would really like to attend a Dolphins game. So if I can make that happen for her, I will. Why are we hating on me like not remembering a game like with my family?
I don't know. I feel like this is live and in person and you experienced something great. You couldn't place the game.
You gave me the stadium as the example of like football. Like that's not, I don't go to football games. Like that's not my interest. Like live games, like hockey is amazing. Like NBA games, like those would be like probably my top 2 that I would like to attend from like a live sporting event that I enjoy. You asked me if I like watching games on TV, and I said I would prefer to watch them like live at the event. That's where I have more interest in.
I understand hockey. I think NBA basketball live is a great viewing experience generally, but even for football, I think football is where the live and in-person experience suffers the most.
Yeah, it's boring.
But
I would rather go be there watching it and in a terrible seat than watch football on TV.
Wow.
I think I would have to be with just like a good group of people and like a good just whatever's going on. There's food, there's drinks, like those around me to have it be a good time watching on TV.
So if it was like 2 middling around 500 teams down the road, the Dolphins versus, I don't know, maybe the Falcons at some point, and the game was at 1 o'clock on an NFL Sunday, and I had free tickets, I think I would pass it up because I would rather be on my couch watching Red Zone, watching all of the games.
Free tickets?
Free
Good
tickets? How good of a ticket, if it's not in a box where you have all you can eat, all you can drink, how good of a football ticket can you get?
50-yard line? 10th row?
Yeah, no, I still, like, what could happen in that game short of a Hail Mary, kickoff return for a touchdown for the win, a lateral play for the win, that would make it worth missing 7 other games at the same time?
That's another thing we haven't talked about, missing other games. That's one of my biggest pet peeves in life. And it's when you're somewhere and there's something else great going on elsewhere and you cannot watch it. It's one of my big problems with sports.
Exactly.
Because going live, and I love going live to games but I always, like Christian, I always take into consideration when, where, and what else is playing.
Exactly. When micro wrestling comes to town and your hands are tied and you just have to miss Game 5 of your favorite baseball team's World Series, your hands are tied. And you know what's killing me? The FOMO of missing the Yankees losing to the Dodgers with the worst defensive 5th inning of all time. But I had to see micro wrestling because it came to West Palm Beach. Or came to Boca, actually.
Yes. And that's why
I disagree with that completely.
That's why we have that trash can lid right behind CCAT.
Christian, I still haven't forgiven him for.
That is one of the, I will never forget that night. That was, I'm so happy that Christian decided to go to this wrestling event over watching his Yankees, because what a night. And then that transitioned into,
it was game 5 of the World Series.
But then that transitioned into Halloween, and one of the days I will never forget being on the radio of how all of us are dressed up in costume.
Yeah.
And then all of us end up hitting each other on the head with a trash can lid that CCAT accidentally auctioned, like raised his hand to buy for $100.
And if I just stayed at home, we never would have had any of this.
We would nothing.
I went to one Dolphin game last year. I went to the game they played the Patriots. It was the week before it was a Sunday before Thanksgiving. And I went in a 1 o'clock slate game. The Dolphins killed the Patriots. I went with our good pals at Hard Rock Bet. I had a great time. I got out of there because it was like 30-7 with about 6-7 minutes to go. I got from Hard Rock to the Okeechobee exit at West Palm in about 55 minutes, which is outstanding time. But the problem was during that week, that 1 o'clock slate, it looked like a bad slate, but it was Vikings-Bears. It was a couple weeks after the Bears started imploding a little bit, but the Bears took the Vikings to overtime. They scored like 17 in the fourth quarter. It was a great game. And the Commanders-Dallas game, where Dallas had the big comeback and the kick return, if you remember this game.
Yes. Yes.
Great game. One of the better 1 o'clock games of the whole slate all year. They had those two games having excellent finishes while I'm in the car. And I'm pro radio broadcast. I enjoy it, but I enjoy watching it more. So I was a little annoyed that I couldn't have both on at the same time and see both those endings. So that's the type of thing that really gets under my skin is that.
See, I would go to the primetime games if it's free tickets. Right? That's awesome. I love that.
We got tickets to the Orange Bowl. I had a blast because there was no competition. There's no competition on against it.
I think the Ravens are coming to Hard Rock this season. I believe it's a Thursday night football game, so I might make it down there for that. Like when I saw the Ravens in
Thursday
Jacksonville.
night, perfect.
Exactly. When I saw them in Jacksonville, it was a Sunday night game. Perfect. Didn't even have to miss work. Drove back early the next day. I love when my team plays in primetime because I'm not diverting my attention either in person or on a TV screen away from everything else going on.
I heavily think about consider the competition. For example, Miami's playing Notre Dame this year down at Hard Rock. First game of the year. Mm-hmm. It's on a Sunday. Sunday night, the week before the NFL starts. That's Perfect. A game I'm probably going to go to because there's no competition. Mm-hmm. Tina, your thoughts?
Lovely. Great.
That's what college football is even worse with that. Because
can't do it. Yeah. It's too long of a day. Yes. The games are 5 hours and it's all you got to set aside tailgate. You could get to an NFL game, go in and out and enjoy the days a little bit, but college football, you're in. That's a day's experience.
And yeah, Colin, like you went to the University of Wisconsin where they weren't that good when you were there. So like, of course, it's very glamorized going to college football games when you are a student at that college. But
you miss a whole lot.
You're missing a whole lot outside of the Big Ten, especially where I felt really guilty going to some Penn State football games when there was some better stuff going on in the SEC and the Big 12.
Because I'm a football fan above Wisconsin fan. I'm a big college football game fan over Wisconsin.
I am too.
So that would be my takeaway there. So, but Tina loves going. I understand you like going live because you don't watch every game every weekend.
I probably watch no games every weekend.
You don't watch
unless you're going to the game.
You don't watch a single football game once throughout the weekend?
No, probably not. I can find other things to do. Unless, say, Theo or CCAT is like, hey, you should probably watch this so you can like chime in. Like, I will watch it. Unless it's, unless I'm with a group of people that are going to watch it, it's going to be a good time all around. No, I probably am doing some other things on the weekend.
Such a foreign concept to me.
Like on a weekend in the fall.
What else could you be doing on a Sunday
Knitting?
at 2:00?
No.
Chores?
Adulting? Yeah, you're doing things. I keep my weekends
Adulting
busy.
is watching football all day on Sunday.
That's your adulting.
That's a heavy population of the United States. That's their pastime on Sundays.
Oh,
sit down and watch it.
You go to the apple orchard and you miss out on a loaded slate. Awful.
Sunday night football, you don't have it turned on Sunday night? You're not doing anything on Sunday night, are you?
No, probably not.
Wow.
It depends. Like maybe it's on in the background, but I'm not like sitting down on my couch or, putting on the TV like to make sure I don't miss the kickoff.
You casually just enjoy your Sunday night, make your cocktail of the day, which is what, by the way?
I actually decided to, when I heard that you were hosting today, I did a cocktail that is Peru's national drink. Because it doesn't sound too bad.
Cocoa tea? What is it?
No. It is called the Pisco Sour.
Yes, I've had a Pisco Sour.
Yes, Pisco, okay. So this is grape brandy, lime juice. Well, that is what like Pisco is, was that good? Like
no, I did not like a Pisco. I didn't like the Pisco Sour. It was very, very strong, but I didn't like it.
Oh, so you had it when you went to Peru?
Multiple times.
Oh.
About 3 or 4.
Nice.
How much are they running?
I got it for free twice because we were at a bar with my guide, and the guide knew the bartender, and he hooked us up. And they gave it to us in a bit. Think like at a fancy restaurant, you get the glass of water, like the big bottle of water. Think of it like that, but it was all Pisco Sour, and everybody would pass it around, and you'd pour yourself a drink. That's how I got it the 2 times, and then I got it at my hostel bar on Saturday night. It was a cheap drink. couldn't tell you the exact price, but it was a cheap drink.
And what's the currency in Peru?
Peruvian soles, which is about $3.50 US to 1 Peruvian sol.
Okay, so it's like 1-2 sols.
Yeah, they'd charge you. What would it be? It'd be like 10 sols. What is that? About $2-3?
Okay.
Yeah.
I had it backwards.
Yeah.
You said this was in a bottle and you were just like pouring it?
Yeah, we were at in Aguas Calientes, which is the neighboring town of Machu Picchu. We were there the night before, and I didn't want to drink because we had a 5 a.m. wake up or 4:30 a.m. wake up. But the guy comes out at this little restaurant we were at, just kind of hanging out, talking with everybody, and he brings out with these giant glasses, probably like 2-3 liters worth, and it was just Pisco Sour.
Because the picture that it shows me of this, like, it just doesn't look like it would just be in a massive bottle. Like, you're just like...
He made it in bulk. He probably had like a wooden bucket out back, and he had the stick, and he was, like a witch's cauldron. That's what it is.
So what's in this? What's the liquor in this?
Pisco.
Oh, what's that based on?
It's brandy.
Yeah.
Grape brandy, lime juice, simple syrup, egg white, and Angostura bitters.
Yeah.
That's why, like, the egg white kind of throws me off that this was in just like a bottle and they're passing it around.
I wouldn't get it if I had a choice of a drink. I would not get it again. But it was like one in Rome. Yeah. But I enjoyed it. So yeah, that's a good one. Peruvian drink. It's very popular there. Oh my God, they don't shut up about it. They love it.
Well, it's Peru's national drink.
Have you had one before?
No.
You should make one. You have to get all the ingredients, but once you get all the ingredients, you should make that. And I imagine, you're having a couple Pisco Sours on a Saturday night. And, on a Sunday morning, you got to make sure you work that off. You could have 45, huh?
Yes, I probably wouldn't have too many because it might be a little miserable to go to F45 after a handful of Pisco Sours.
It's never miserable going to F45.
No, it's never miserable. I can sweat it all out at F45. 45-minute workout. You're in, you're out. You don't have to think about it. Walk in. You have TV screens that give you the exercises. You have a coach there that will help you if you need it. There's classes in the morning, in the evening, in the afternoon, whatever works for your schedule. F45 Palm Beach Gardens. Check out their Instagram page to see the specials that they've got going on, or go to f45training.com to find a location near you.
A lot of fun at F45. We love F45. I go as well and have a great time every time.
So much fun.
Hungover, not hungover.
Yeah. I've gone to F45 multiple times hungover. I leave, though, feeling 100 times better.
Slay.
Do you truly, Colin's doing this thing where his vernacular is a little bit different, and I have my suspicions as to why.
Oh, you don't know why?
No.
Okay.
Don't tell him.
I know why. There's going to be one that's just going to really throw him off.
That was a sleigh out of nowhere. That was a grenade you just threw into a room and closed the door. That was an unsafe sleigh.
I needed to get out of the way. That's Christian Cat, Christina Costanza, Colin Russo filling in for Theo Dorsey on Theoretically Speaking. Taking a time out here as we continue the happy hour, Tina.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. This is ESPN 1063.
Want to accelerate your career as a manager or executive in the exciting industry of sports? Florida Atlantic University's MBA in Sport Management program is ranked #1 in Florida and 10th in the world. Students learn practical and applied skills from top faculty and experts who work in the industry. With a 94% placement rate for all grads, the full-time MBA program sets students up for success in the world of sports. Check out Florida Atlantic University's MBA in Sport Management program today by going to business.fau.edu.
Get ready, South Florida. It's the 12th annual Boca Raton Bowl. Tuesday, December 23rd, 2 p.m. at FAU's Flagler Credit Union Stadium. Two of the best group of 5 teams go head-to-head in the ultimate holiday showdown. Over 150 players have gone from this field to the NFL. Who's next? Visit BocaRatonBowl.com for the latest, including when tickets will go on sale. The 12th annual Boca Raton Bowl, Tuesday, December 23rd, 2 p.m. at Flagler Credit Union Stadium.
It's the summer sales event with the Ford Groom. Sam, 30 seconds on the clock. The Ford Summer Sales Event.
Great time to buy.
Correct. What do we have amazing deals on this summer?
Ford trucks and SUVs.
Is Ford America's all-time best-selling auto brand?
Let me think. Yeah, it is.
3 for 3.
What do I win?
You get to work at the Ford Summer Sales Event.
Amazing. I think I was going to do that anyway.
You betcha.
Based on Automotive News Almanac historical data and industry-reported sales data from 1909 through 2024 CY.
It's heating up fast in Palm Beach County. Hey, it's Colin, and if your AC isn't ready for the Florida heat, now is the time to call John C. Cassidy Air Conditioning and Plumbing. Since 1960, John C. Cassidy has kept homes cool and comfortable. Don't wait for a breakdown. Upgrade your system today with great financing available. Be sure to ask about the Cassidy Care Program for year-round peace of mind. Cassidy is proud to support our local community, including the YMCA and the Palm Beach Gardens Youth Athletic Association. Stay cool. Stay prepared with Cassidy Air Conditioning and Plumbing. Visit CassidyAC.com.
Hi, this is Scott Smith of Smith Ball, Baez, and Prather, Florida Injury Lawyers. I have said it many times before, and I will continue to say it for many years to come. There is never a good time for a car accident to occur, and most certainly never ever a good time to suffer injuries in any type of an accident. The accident and its overall aftermath will usually cause pain, difficulty, and stress. Florida law allows accident victims to recover compensation for such losses, injuries, and damages. But such recovery is often not obtained easily and can require a lengthy fight with an insurance company. If you've been injured in an accident, call us now. Don't delay. The initial consultation is completely free of charge. The sooner you call us, the sooner we can put our experienced legal team to work for you. Don't hesitate or pause for another minute. Our experience, knowledge, and resources could be working for you just minutes after the call. If you've been injured, the lawyers at Smith Ball, Baez, and Prather will help. Call us at 500-HELP, 500-HELP. With Smith Ball, Baez, and Prather, help is just a phone call away. Offices Palm Beach Gardens, Boca Raton, and Port St. Lucie.
Tired of being sidelined by a sports injury? Get back in the game with Baptist Health Orthopedic Care. Whether you're a professional athlete or even a weekend warrior, you can get back to doing what you love with our compassionate orthopedic team. Experience a new level of care and get back to your best. Welcome to being treated like a pro. Make an appointment today at baptisthealth.net/ortho or call 833-556-6764.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios, Theo Dorsey is theoretically speaking. Streaming live on YouTube, here's Theo Dorsey.
No Theo Dorsey, Colin Russo filling in on Theoretically Speaking, ESPN 106.3. It's the happy hour with Tina. We got Christina Costanzo with us and Christian Cat at the City Place Studios in downtown West Palm Beach. Tina was talking about, you go to the gym, you do all this, you do all the work. The important part surrounding that, though, the thing that's sort of forgotten about is when you're at the gym is what you put in your body. You can't just eat and drink a bunch of Pisco Sours and go to the gym and expect results. You got to put in some real nutrition, huh?
It's 80% nutrition, 20% like fitness and like activities. And the best way to get your nutrition and supplements is by going to Vitacost.com. Vitacost Sport Certified Marketplace is built for athletes and fitness enthusiasts who train hard and understand the benefits of clean supplementation and nutrition. Whether you're prepping for, say, an Ironman like Colin, grinding at the gym like me, or just trying to be a little more health conscious, Vitacost is your go-to for leveling up your game. They have over 400 performance-enhancing supplements at Vitacost.com. Use the code ESPN20 for 20% off your order, ESPN20 for 20% off Vitacost. You can get protein powder there, creatine, hydration packets, anything you need. It's awesome, too, because say you're unsure maybe what this product is. They have reviews there. It's not just one brand. You have so many different brands that you can look at and try. Vitacost.com. Use ESPN20 for 20% off.
Tina, you're somebody who likes watching the behind-the-scenes sports stuff, not the live, in-person, the actual sporting part of sports. You like watching the behind-the-scenes, like the Hard Knockses of the world, yes or no?
I would say yes. I like the drama and maybe just some...
Which ones do it for you?
What do you mean?
Like, do you like, is it Hard Knocks? There's 100 of them. Did you watch the golf? Did you watch the full swing?
I had not finished it. I don't watch a ton of TV.
You watch then? Aren't you a documentary person?
I like documentaries.
Is the TV the focus of your living room? does everything point towards the TV?
No.
See, that's just nuts. You walk into somebody's place and like they have a
What
living
is
room with no
hold on.
TV.
What does that mean?
What
Like
do
it's not the focal point. Wait, it's off to the side?
Yeah, like the house that I live in, like when you actually walk in, the TV's right there to your right. Like it's a big TV.
But there's a couch. There's a
a
seating
couch,
area.
yes, but like
Is this couch face the TV?
yes, it does. I guess it is like the center point, but it's not like that's not where I'm going. Like I don't know. I feel like I'm just always moving and I'm not home like to where I'm like just sitting there. And if I'm sitting down and like watching TV, like it has to be again like an event or something I'm interested in, or I'm probably like watching with my roommate, but I don't know. We're not like watching like if I'm watching Hard Knocks, I'm probably like thinking in my head I could be doing something better or putting my time better other places.
You think
You pay for cable?
No.
Neither do I.
So what do you like?
Neither do I.
How do you watch things when you watch things? Is it all just
I
on
don't
various
pay,
streaming services?
Yeah, it's all streaming services. And I only pay for one of them. And then like my roommate and I like share other things.
Okay. At least, because it'd be a waste of money if you weren't loving TV and paying for cable. So I'm happy that you're not wasting your money.
I actually had to, I was staying somewhere and only had cable and I had like no streaming services. I couldn't find anything to watch on TV.
Ooh, that means Impractical Jokers. That's what that means. Every single time.
No, that is
True
my
TV.
guilty
Good
pleasure
point.
is
Good point.
Impractical Jokers.
Good point.
And it was not on.
Was Ridiculousnesses on with
Yes,
Rob
it was,
Dyrdek? Did you
and
watch that?
that was
That's a good B option.
No, I actually turned to The Office. I had The Office on every day because I did have Ridiculousness on like once just for background noise, but I just didn't want to sit there in silence, but I couldn't find anything on cable to watch. And I was like, now's the time to watch sports. I actually did tune in to the NFL flag on that weekend, that Sunday.
Yeah.
But other than that, like I couldn't find anything on cable.
Yeah, so what's your your hotel room viewing habits? Because that's the situation, is when you go to a hotel room, they normally don't have that very nice smart TV where you can log in and watch what you normally do, what you're binging currently. So you are at the mercy of what channels they have. And I am a true TV, Impractical Jokers, every single time without fail, because it's always on.
I go to the movie channels first. I got to see if there's anything interesting there, especially if it's commercial free on the movie channels. And then if there's nothing there, you're right. Impractical Jokers or Sports Center. And if there's something live, great. But I agree. Hotel TV is a big conundrum. I'm on Team Tina there, where I could probably be doing something better if I'm in a hotel for whatever reason than watch TV.
Yeah, I'm not. If I'm staying at a hotel, like I'm on a vacation or doing something, I'm in a new place. I'm not at my hotel until like I'm going to bed and then like waking up to get ready. Like I'm like taking advantage of my whole day by exploring. But it's probably Impractical Jokers. That would be like the first thing that I would turn. Like I just need something on the TV.
And you wouldn't know a good movie just off like the guide section. You know, you're checking the guide, seeing what's on TV.
Movies are the last thing I'm thinking of.
I hate jumping into a movie that I didn't start. I cannot turn
I could do it.
No.
I could do it. But the thing is, Tina wouldn't know if it was a good movie because she hasn't seen any good movies.
Okay.
Right?
Well, we've heard other people talk about good movies.
Yeah, but that's like based on your opinion if you think something is good.
But some
like,
movies are good.
Objective good movies, but you wouldn't know. Would you know if the Shawshank Redemption was on the TNT channel or something like that? Would you know to watch it?
No.
Have you ever heard of the Shawshank
I've heard of
Redemption?
it, yes. I've heard of it. I've been told to watch it. I'm not. I haven't.
How about Inception?
Yes, been told to watch it. Haven't.
Would you, like, if you saw Inception's about to start right now, and I have 3 hours to kill, and it's raining outside, maybe this is the time that I watch Inception because it's on HBO.
I'd rather scroll on TikTok and Instagram
Oh,
than
that
probably
just
watch a movie.
that hurts.
It's
That's
just-
a knife to the chest.
This is not.
It's
There's something
movies.
better I could be doing. There's something worse that I could be doing.
Scroll on TikTok would be more fulfilling.
I'm saying I'm just not a movie gal. Like I'm just not into movies. And I think it's just more me like having to like sit still and like pay attention the whole time. Like that's probably what it is. But
The attention span of TikTok has got you.
yeah,
Have you ever
just
watched a
scroll.
movie on those things on TikTok?
No.
Okay.
TikTok should be blown up. Like, TikTok is damaging. It's hurting our youth.
It's the attention span.
Yeah, it's really, really bad.
Tina, we need to get you like in a room just with no input and just sit there for like 2 hours and see if you go nuts or not.
I'll go nuts. I wouldn't like that.
How long would you last? 20 minutes?
Yeah, I could do that.
That's like a meditation phase.
Yeah.
Anything over 45, we're gonna have some issues.
I don't know. Maybe. I
Have you
probably
ever,
just
have
try
you
to
ever
go
done
to
that?
sleep.
It's like you just try to be in your own thoughts for a little bit.
I will say the closest I got to that was trying to name as many athletes as I could on my flight.
Oh, you did that on your flight. How many
Yeah.
did you get to?
I got to 850 57, I think.
So I did it for my Denver flight to the Ironman. I did the last 2 hours of the flight, and it was like 9:13 to like 11:11 or something like that. And with one bathroom break, I got around 800 as well.
That's good.
It's fun. That's a good little way to do it.
That's not fun.
It is a lot more fun than you would expect. It's challenging because there is no.
It's a lot of fun.
There is like no winning. You can always do better, and you can always challenge yourself.
The funniest part is looking through, reading it through, and then you can completely imagine your line of thinking.
Yes.
I did criminals, and I did like 8 or 9 criminals and athletes with criminal records in a row. So, like, for example, I did Ray Rice. What's the first person that comes into mind when you hear Ray Rice?
Ray Lewis.
Ray Lewis. All right. Then what after that? I went OJ after that. So
okay.
You're following my line of thinking.
Mm-hmm.
So that's sort of how I did that. And sometimes I would do former Ravens. You know, if I'm on the Ray Rice, Ray Lewis, maybe I'll go Flacco or something there. But you could, when you're naming random athletes, you have a pattern.
What was your reach of like sports? Because CCAT was naming some and we had to look them up because we had never heard of them. And some were like professional pool players. Like, what was yours, Colin?
So I'll tell you right now, because I still have this
Billiards.
open, I believe.
This is no digital aid sitting there.
Yeah, I started at
on the
9:12
flight.
in the morning. My first name was DeMarcus Cousins. And then my second name was Sean Livingston. And then my third name was Steph Curry. So clearly I started with the Golden State Warriors. My first 29 players were Golden State Warriors players. And then I went to the Knicks, and I started with Pablo Prigioni. And then I went all the way through 54 with the Knicks.
I try to outsmart the system because you can do a very long stream of consciousness with no breaks off of athletes that are well known. I thought I used deep cuts early, and it really harmed me because I tried to stay with the Yankees as long as possible at the beginning, thinking that it would pay off in the end because it would be easy. But no.
Really, I did get team by team. So I went team by team to start, and then I did a bunch of NBA franchises because I could probably do like at least 30 or 40 per franchise. I got bored at a certain point, and
never got boring for me.
But I got bored. I got bored of doing the teams. So I did a ton for the Celtics, and then after that, like I would lose train of thought, but I remembered the player and I couldn't remember the name. For example, at number 113, I did Bob McAdoo, Pat Riley. I was doing some 80s Lakers, and then I get the white guy in the Showtime's Lakers who got clotheslined. What is his name? And I left that there for about 30 people. And then I came back and I said Kurt Rambis once it came to me, once I was thinking about the play with the Abdul-Jabbar play.
Yes, for any people, sports fans that are trying to entertain themselves on the flight, I give it a wholehearted endorsement. Do this challenge because it will entertain you, and your flight will be done in a snap. Because you almost wish you had more time on your flight to get your number up. Oh, it was exhilarating. I loved it.
Yeah, Kiki Vandeweghe, number 222, was a good pull. Bobby Jones on the 1983 Philadelphia 76ers team. That was a good one. I'm good with the basketball. I stayed with basketball until, wow, I'm into the 400s. I'm still in basketball. I shifted out of basketball at 470, and I started with Tom Brady. And then I went to I did quarterbacks. I did 100 quarterbacks just off the dome. And then I landed, and then I stopped. I probably could have gotten to a couple thousand. I probably could have gotten to 1,500, 2,000.
But that's the problem, though. Like, it's not
it never ends.
A test of
how many
you can name in general. It's how many you can name on your flight and your focus.
Yeah, it's just like you're going to get bored. I had a bathroom break. I remember there was a smelly guy next to me. That was annoying. So I had a tough time staying focused. But it was a fun little pastime. It was a fun little pastime. Tina, you should try that. What is that thing you can name 100 of?
I don't know. I'd have to think about that. Not athletes, that's for sure.
Not athletes.
No, maybe celebs. I don't know.
Okay, name 10.
Stop.
Next flight you take, you should sit down on your notes app and then name as many celebrities as you possibly can.
But see, in my brain, I'm like, I'd rather read a book that's going to help me in life than do that.
Or scroll
like
TikTok.
No, I can't do that on my flight. I'd rather read a book or watch a movie. Maybe that's recommended than put my time into that.
The phrase,
that's not going to help me in life.
My time would be better served scrolling TikTok. That's going to stick with me for a while.
Yeah, put that on a tombstone. Oh, my goodness. See, this is where
it's more Instagram.
It's a little
than TikTok,
hypocritical. It's a little hypocritical, Tina. Can you see that?
Yeah, but
your time is not better spent. If you watch The Shawshank Redemption, you'd be better off than scrolling TikTok.
How?
The Shawshank Redemption is one of the great movies in the history of cinema.
Maybe I have to watch it to believe you.
Jaws?
I've seen Jaws. You've also talked about the history of Jaws.
I love
30
Jaws.
times.
One of my favorite
since you've
movies
been
of all
here
time.
a year.
Heat by Michael Mann with Al Pacino and Robert De Niro.
Nope.
You scrolling TikTok instead of watching that is a disgrace, in my opinion.
Sorry.
Try it next flight. Name as many celebrities as you can. Off the dome, airplane mode. Don't buy the Wi-Fi, and just see how far you get.
Quick, give me 5
Probably
redhead actresses or actors.
Redhead?
Yep, bang.
No.
Come on.
I don't
Jessica
want to.
Chastain, Bryce Dallas Howard, Bella Thorne, red hair. The girl who plays Sadie Sink and Sophie Turner. Boom, that's 5.
There you go.
Okay.
Not bad. I might do this in my next flight. That's Christian Cat. That's Christina Cassandra. We continue and close out, theoretically speaking, on the flip side, continuing on with the happy hour at ESPN 106.3.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. This is ESPN 106.3.
When you're in pain and an hour seems like a day seems like a month, there's only one place to go for your treatment. Pain Care Florida. Our pain management specialists have the knowledge and experience in state-of-the-art procedures to relieve pain and get you moving. Time waits for no one, especially when you're in pain. Visit paincareflorida.com. Pain Care Florida. Stop hurting, start living today.
Calling all sports fans, grab your MVP card and head to Duffy's where you can catch all of the action. Not an MVP? Sign up for free and start earning rewards today. Duffy's is voted the best sports grill year after year with their award-winning burgers and wings. Don't forget about Duffy's famous 2-for-1 drinks all day, every day. And with over 80 TVs in every location, you'll never miss a minute of the game. Visit Duffy'sMVP.com to learn more. Duffy's, our game is always on.
Kaiser University's flagship campus. The 100-acre residential campus at 2600 North Military Trail in West Palm Beach extends Kaiser University's educational offerings to over 100 degrees. Kaiser University also has an athletic program with 26 national championships, including back-to-back-to-back lacrosse titles, and they just won their first ever national championship for men's tennis. Visit KUSeahawks.com for the latest on the championship flagship campus of Kaiser University.
The Club at Lost Lake, a championship Fazio design golf course in Hope Sound. Golf and social memberships are now available with no waiting list and immediate access. The course and club will see over $10 million in capital improvements and is one of the best private club values in the area. Experience the beauty and challenge of this renowned course for yourself. Enjoy year-round access to exclusive amenities and events. Elevate your game, elevate your experience. Discover the Club at Lost Lake. Visit clublostlake.com to schedule a visit today.
Elevate your drive with the new 2026 Range Rover Velar P250S, where sleek design meets powerful performance. Lease it today for just $749 a month for 36 months with $6,995 due at signing. This is your chance to command the road in signature Range Rover style. Visit Land Rover Palm Beach today and make sophistication yours. Land Rover, above and beyond.
The weather is heating up and summer is here. Stay cool with EDS Air Conditioning. Right now, qualified customers can take advantage of 0% interest for 60 months on a brand new AC. Hot streaks belong in sports, not in your home. With over 800 Google reviews and a 4.8 star rating, EDS is the name you can trust since 2006. Visit EDSisyes.com today. Game day comfort starts now. Don't sweat the small stuff.
Breaking news on ESPN 106.3 is brought to you by St. Lucie Battery and Tire. If your vehicle has issues with braking or other issues, get it fixed right now at St. Lucie Battery and Tire.
This just in, the New York Mets are finalizing a deal to acquire center fielder Cedric Mullins in a trade with the Baltimore Orioles. Mets making a big move for an outfielder, and the Orioles, free fall. Mullins been there for a while, a great player for them, and sort of looking for that big game opportunity. How many games has he played this year? He's been in the mix. He doesn't miss games. He hasn't had a terribly good year. He's never been a great hitter, but a big acquisition there for the New York Mets.
You want your local tie. Cedric Mullins, Played for the Boca Raton Blazers in the South Florida Collegiate Baseball League.
How about that?
Right down the road.
Did you call those games?
No, that was before my time.
Yeah, I guess, he's been in the league since 2017,
I got
18.
I got Zach Neto was my guy. He was a Delray Beach Lightning alum before he became swiftly through the Angels organization from Campbell.
Mets may take a big swing. They're giving up a lot of prospects here. They got Heltzy yesterday. They've made some moves here. The Mets are loading up. They see everybody else doing the same. So the NL is going to be very interesting once we get to postseason time. Christian Cat conquered a fear of his of performing on stage, performing and doing stand-up comedy earlier this week alongside Theo Dorsey on Monday. Courtesy of our friends at Bob Carter's Actors Rep, Christian dominated. So did Theo. We want to thank our pals over at Bob Carter's, because for more than 40 years, Actors Rep has been the creative home for bold storytelling, transformative arts education, and local talent right here in West Palm Beach. They're looking for our help, trying to raise money to keep the stage, keep the vision, keep the dream alive. Go donate today at GoFundMe.com/SaveActorsRep. Help them keep their curtains open. Help them continue their mission as they want to continue to bring greatness of the arts, such as Christian Cat, and maybe one day, such as myself. I got to do that one of these days, but appreciate Bob Carter's Actors Rep for helping us out. Is there anything on your bucket list that you got to knock out, Tina?
Like from a fear?
Yeah, that was a fear for Christian. Isn't that exhilarating, by the way?
Well, it was a bucket list item because I'm an adrenaline junkie, and I could not think of another adrenaline-inducing moment such as that. That's pretty nuts. I love roller coasters, and I did skydiving, and that stuff has safety precautions, so I know that I'm going to live at the end of it.
You want something where you have a fear of death involved?
Honestly, I don't know. Slim, break that percentage up a little bit.
Okay.
I think I had a higher percentage of dying on stage on Monday night.
From panic and fear?
A higher chance that happened than I died on King Dakar in Jackson, New Jersey at Six Flags.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
So that was a bigger thrill to you than something like skydiving?
Absolutely. Yes. 100%. If I had a smartwatch on that was metering my heartbeat and afraid of, all that's like carnival rides, all that, you have a seatbelt on. Like, I'm not going to die. This is fine. But worst case scenario can happen if you're on the stage having to perform to an individual.
I feel like you totally can die on a roller coaster. Hasn't it happened before? And
yes.
You can't die doing stand-up comedy.
Heart attack.
I'm sure somebody has died doing stand-up comedy before.
Maybe from like other health reasons, not from like they're just nervous and
Right.
the adrenaline of like
But you're
doing
not thinking
stand-up.
about it logistically like that.
Or if I got shot on stage. What if someone didn't like the joke and they're carrying that night?
It's a little dark, but okay.
I
yeah.
mean, it can
It's a
happen.
possibility.
Yeah, I guess so.
What's that next thing for you? I know a big thing for you when I first met you, when I first got here, was you didn't like eating in restaurants by yourself.
Yes, but I've faced that fear. And now I do it, like I've done it multiple times since then.
And it's no problem.
No, now it's fine. Now I like don't mind going and sitting at a restaurant by myself or sitting at the bar and like having a drink. Now I actually prefer that some days. I'd rather, instead of having to have a conversation with someone, just going there by myself. My biggest fear though is snakes. And I think that like to conquer that, like I stay far away as possible.
Yeah, but are you dying to get near a snake?
No.
Right. So like it's not like
dying to do anything. Like I've always maybe thought like skydiving seems like such an adrenaline rush.
It's true.
But I have like I guess a fear of that. Like what if it breaks? Like what if something happens while I'm skydiving?
Well, what if
Quick
anything?
death.
Yeah, what if anything?
That's
Pancake
what I'm
real quick.
saying.
What if anything?
The thing about skydiving is the worst part of it is not the fear of falling from the sky. Your legs get so chafed and your groin is just being torn apart.
Vaseline.
Yeah, I needed something up there. It was awful.
I didn't have that problem. I've done it 3 times. I've not had that problem.
I was distracted from the wonderment of falling from the heavens because like my package was in pain and
Wow.
my ears hurt. Like that was my experience skydiving, where I'm happy I did it. That was a bucket list opportunity. I like just drove straight west here in Florida and went to the middle of nowhere. And it was painful more so than fear mongering.
Wow. I love skydiving. Each time I did it in 3 different spots. But the thing that I like about skydiving, I think is the best part about it, is if you're with people doing it with like a couple buddies or people that you know, the best part, in my opinion, is the plane ride up. Because the plane ride up It's a very bizarre feeling getting up in that plane, being strapped to another man as you're like basically saddling him in this on this plane with no seats. And then you realize that you're not landing with the plane. That's a very bizarre feeling. Then everybody kind of it hits everybody at once, and then you can start messing with each other because the guys are poking fun at you. You're talking about, oh, like I think that's a little loose. Like that's a lot of fun. I think the adrenaline getting up there and the anticipation almost rivals the actual experience.
Have you been bungee jumping before?
I have. I did bungee jumping once. That was scary.
That sounds a lot more scary.
It was 100 times more scary because you're jumping on your own, and you could get seriously hurt if you jump incorrectly. If you don't commit and you jump, for example, feet first, you're going to get killer whiplash, and it's going to be a major problem. But if you have to jump head first. So you're diving, and I was on a gondola in Switzerland, and we were the heavy group, heavy guys. And I remember I was probably 6th to go, and we were the first group of the entire season. So it was fresh off of winter. So they were all giving us trouble that the lake underneath us was frozen. They
you hit the water?
No, no, you don't. You come close. It was icy. It was frozen over. But the first guy was this heavy New Zealand guy who's probably 235 pounds.
Ooh, stretching that baby.
So we were all giving him trouble on the gondola, saying that he was going to be our guinea pig and we'll see him at the bottom.
Oh, man. Or what if he stretches it out almost like
that's why it was great. They started with the
band.
heaviest guy because it was a cold little wire. Thought that was fascinating. Great experience. I don't know if I ever need to do that again. Appreciate Christina Costanza for joining us for the happy hour with Tina. Appreciate Christian Cat for keeping us up over the air. No Theo Dorsey today. Colin Russo filling in. We're coming right back to you. We got 2 hours of Russo and Rizzo coming right here on ESPN 106.3.
Look, up in the sky. It's a bird.
It's a plane.
It's DQ Grill and Chill's new Superman Cake Batter Cookie Dough Blizzard.
This limited time treat combines DQ's signature soft serve, dyed